At the beginning of the film, we are shown that the king of Wakanda, whose name is T'Challa, is fighting a very dangerous disease. A disease that Wakanda does not have a cure for. To save her brother T'Challa's life, her sister, Shuri, is doing many tests in her lab, so that she can make a fake herb which is very powerful, after which she makes a drink and gives it to T'Challa and saves his life. Actually, at this time, there is not a single herb in Wakanda. Shuri tries a lot here, but still, she is not successful in making that herb. Here she is asking her robot about her brother, on which the robot says that T'Challa's condition is very delicate and it is very difficult to save him. The speed of her heart is also constantly falling down. Immediately after this, Shuri's mother, Ramonda, comes to Shuri, who says, "Just stop, Shuri, now stop doing all this, there is no use. Because T'Challa is no longer alive, he is dead." As soon as she says this, Shuri and her mother Ramonda both start crying. Now the next day, T'Challa's funeral is done, that is, he is buried, where all the people of Wakanda say goodbye to their king T'Challa very nicely. Now a year passes doing this, where Wakanda spent this time without any of his kings or queens. But now after a year has passed, Wakanda has made Ramonda his queen, so that she can take her son in place of T'Challa and take care of Wakanda. After this, a large ship is shown in the sea. The ship was actually like a lab in Wokanda, where some scientists are doing research on a dangerous metal, but then some soldiers come and attack here, and try to enter the ship from all sides. These people actually came here to steal that metal, but then the soldiers of Wakanda also come, and attack those thief soldiers. After killing them, they make them prisoners and imprison them. After this, we see that a very big meeting is held in all the countries of the world, in which the Queen of Wakanda is also called Ramonda. Here the leaders of all the countries of the world say to Ramonda, that your country Wakanda cannot protect the most dangerous metal in the world, because it is not in your power to protect it. That's why you give us all your metal. We will keep it safe. You don't even have to worry about it. Now in response to this, Ramonda says that Wakanda has been protecting this vibranium metal for thousands of years, and will continue to do so, because we are no less than anyone. And the same thing that we hand over the vibranium metal to you. So this cannot happen, because we know that you will make dangerous weapons from that metal, with whose help you will destroy the world. As soon as she says this, Ramonda also presents all the soldiers there, who came to steal that vibranium metal in Wakanda's ship, who these people had imprisoned with them. After this she says that we all know what you are thinking. This is because the king of Wakanda is dead, so there is no king or Black Panther to protect him, and now is the right time to steal that metal. But let me remind you not to be in this misconception. Although Wakanda has lost his king, but his soldiers still know how to protect their country. After saying this, she warns the whole world. She warns them that even after this, if anyone looks at Wakanda or his metal, then you will see that the result will not be good at all. After this, the scene of the sea is shown again, where we see some soldiers and officers. All these soldiers and officers were actually from America and an agency.
They are looking for that vibranium metal in all the seas. They also had a machine that could find that vibranium metal, where through this machine, they find a place in the water. Finally, they find out about this metal. Then to see that metal, two officers go into the water. But then they are attacked. And the attackers are none other than the soldiers of the city of Namur. The name of the city of Namur is Talokan, which we also know from the name of Atlantis. Now here the people of Talokan kill all the American soldiers. Then here we also find out that when this vibranium metal came to the earth from the sky thousands of years ago, then it also fell into the sea of Talokan along with Wakanda. Meaning that this vibranium metal is also with Talokan besides Wakanda, which American soldiers came to steal. But now because they have this vibranium metal, the soldiers of Talokan have also made their own weapons from it. The name and weapon that Namur uses, which is a rod, is also made of this vibranium metal. There Ramonda brings her daughter Suri to the bank of a river, where Ramonda burns her white dress, which she was wearing because of her son T'Challa's death. She did this so that the sorrow of her son's death would come out. Actually, people of Wakanda think that if we burn the white dress, the sorrow of the dead will come out, and we will not even remember it. But because Suri did not believe in all this, she did not burn her dress. But here both mother and daughter still start crying in memory of T'Challa. Meanwhile, Namur comes out of the river. He tells them about himself, says that I am the king of Talokan city. I want to talk to you about T'Challa, about the mistake he made. Since T'Challa has extended the hand of friendship to the whole world, everyone knows about Wakanda. That's when the whole world knows about this vibranium metal. And that Wakanda also has this vibranium metal. That's why everyone is after this vibranium metal, because of which my people's lives are in danger, because we also have this vibranium metal. I believe that since the world has come to know the truth of Wakanda, that you have that vibranium metal. Since then the whole world has been after you. And if the world comes to know about our truth, that we also have that vibranium metal, then all the people of the world will follow us, and they will make our lives miserable. And sooner or later they will come to know about this. Because the Americans have a machine that can find this vibranium metal. That machine has been made by a very clever scientist of America. Now my advice is that you and we should unite. Both countries should unite and destroy the whole world. Because before Wakanda and Talokan destroy the whole world, it is not better if we both destroy the whole world together. Because after this we will be able to live our lives in peace and tranquility. After hearing about the destruction of the world, Ramonda gets irritated and refuses to accept his offer, and says that we like peace. We don't want any destruction. We want peace. Now Namor says that it's okay if Wakanda doesn't meet Talokan, but you will have to give us that scientist, who has made a machine to find this vibranium metal, so that I can kill that scientist. And the Americans don't come to our country looking for the vibranium metal. Now Namor gives him a week's time and says that I will come again after a week, not alone but with his entire army. And by then if you hand over that scientist to us, then we will understand that Wakanda is our friend. But if this does not happen, then we will destroy Wakanda along with the whole world. And then after threatening, Namor leaves from here. After this Ramonda comes back and gives this task to her general, that she somehow got hold of that scientist, the scientist who has made the metal searching machine. Then here the general says that I want to take your daughter Suri with me, where Ramonda first refuses for it, but later agrees to take Suri. After which Suri and the general reach America, and somehow find that scientist. Here they find out that the scientist is a 19-year-old girl going to college. Her name is Ironheart. As soon as they find her, they start taking her with them. But then they find out that the people of America and the agency have been after them for a long time. And they have always kept an eye on Suri and Ironheart. They now tell these three to surrender. That is, to surrender themselves to them. But then that scientist, that is Ironheart, comes in her original form. That is, she wears her suit and leaves from there. After which Suri and the general also take her car and bike and leave from there. Now here they somehow escape from the agency. But as they go ahead, the soldiers of Talokan attack them. Because Namor has not sent these soldiers, so that they can catch Ironheart and bring him to Namor. Here the soldiers of Talokan are fighting a lot with the general, and try to take Ironheart with them. But in response, the general also fights with them and tries to save Ironheart. But because the soldiers of Talokan were very brave, they defeat the general. And then along with Ironheart, they also take Suri to Namor in Talokan. That when the only general returns, she tells Ramonda about all this. But she gets very angry when she hears this, that being a general, she could not save them. That is why she removes him from the position of general. After this, Ramonda goes to the old general who was also a commander, who had previously worked for Wakanda. Ramonda believed that the commander had gone to different countries of the world. And how to get angry in another country, no one else has the experience of this. So surely she can go to Talokan and save her daughter Suri and Ironheart. Ramonda tells the commander everything, where she tells Suri to bring back Ironheart. After which the commander goes directly to Talokan and kills many of the soldiers there. And they both save Suri and Ironheart and bring Wakanda back. But here we know that when Suri and Ironheart were with Namor, then Suri had repeatedly told Namor not to kill Ironheart. It is not his fault. And during this time, Namor also told him everything from the beginning. Where now we also know about Namor from the beginning. We find out that Namor is 450 years old. Where 450 years ago, Namor's parents were human. But then, along with Namor's parents, everyone in his village was being killed due to disease and poverty, where they all together pray to their God. Then God comes in their dreams and tells everyone about a flower, which was exactly like that precious powerful herb, the same herb that Suri was trying to make in her lab. After finding out about the flower, Nemo's parents and everyone in the village go into the water to get that flower and drink its juice. But as soon as they drink it, their body and mind completely changes. The color of the whole body had turned blue. They didn't look like humans at all. But as soon as this happens, their powers increase to a large extent. But there was a problem. These people could not stay on the ground after becoming like this. Then to stay alive, they go into the water because now they can only stay there. This was the time when Namor was about to be born. Where after some time, he is born. And because Namor's mom had also used this flower, that's why Namor also got all these powers. But it was amazing that along with water, he could also stay alive on the outside world. Apart from this, he had wings and sharp ears. But after some time, when he was growing up, it was time for his mother's death. Before his death, his mother only had one last wish, that I want to see my first world on this earth. And if I can't see it, then I will be buried in my village. Now to fulfill his mother's last wish, Namor takes his corpse to his village. But when he comes here, he sees that the people outside the village are committing atrocities, who also shoot at Namor. Now nothing happens to him in front of him, but he kills all those people and burns the whole place. And only after this day, Namor starts hating the people living on the outside world. After telling his whole story, he also gave Suri a bracelet, which was made of Talokan's powerful herbs. But when he finds out that Commander Suri has taken Ironheart from here, and he has also killed some of his people, then he gets very angry at Wakanda. And now he goes and attacks Wakanda directly. He destroys the whole city here, in which obviously, many people of Wakanda are killed. But along with that, Queen Ramonda is also killed. But dying, he tells Ramonda that this attack is just a slight glimpse. After some time, I will come with my whole army, and I will destroy the whole of Wakanda. As soon as he says this, he leaves with his army. After this, as soon as Suri finds out that my mom has died, she gets very sad. But to stop Namor and take revenge on him, she starts working on the herbs again. She takes out the herbs from the bracelet that Namor gave her, and starts testing them on her, where very soon she finds out that these are not ordinary herbs, but they also have all the powers of powerful herbs. As soon as she finds out, she mixes all these herbs with her brother T'Challa's DNA, after which she finally makes that fake herb. And as soon as she drinks it, she thinks that I will see my mom and dad. But she does not see him, but a dangerous soldier, who tells Suri that you are not as kind and brave as your brother T'Challa. You are just like me, angry, taking revenge. You just want revenge, you can never take your brother's place. As soon as she hears this, Suri gets angry. And because of those powerful herbs, she had already got the powers. By using them, she wears the Black Panther suit and becomes the new Black Panther. Along with this, Ironheart also makes a strong suit for herself in the lab, which was quite modern. They both had already found out that Namor's weakness is heat. It's hot. So if she is kept in the heat or kept away from the water, she can become weak. With all this preparation, she takes her army and goes straight to the city of Namor and attacks Talokan. After which, a great fight breaks out between Wakanda and Talokan. Here, Suri comes in her Black Panther suit and brings Namor to her big ship, in which she had put big heaters, from which a lot of heat and fire was coming out. Now with so much heat, Namor becomes weak. But because she had her weapon in her hand, that is, the rod, which was made of dangerous metal, with the help of it, he destroys the whole ship, after which the ship is about to fall down. But Suri somehow takes the ship to a desert, so that she can keep Namor away from the water to weaken him. Now after coming to the desert, a very dangerous fight breaks out between Namor and Suri, in which Namor crosses his rod over Suri's stomach, which makes her very weak. After doing this, he starts going back to the water, so that he can get power again. But before going to the water, Suri destroys her broken ship. That is, she blows it away, from which the fire that comes out is so hot that Nemur becomes weak, after which she attacks Nemur with her weapon, and says that either you give up in this war or I will take your life. Now it is better to give up for you here. Because if you don't stop the war, your people will also be killed along with the rest. He agrees with Suri, so he gives up in front of her. Now they get together and come to their people and end the war, after which they become friends with each other. Everything was fine. The people of both the countries were very happy. But here we know that the principle of Wakanda is that before any person becomes a king or queen, he has to prove himself. He has to win the sword fight in his country and prove that he is the bravest. I am powerful and capable of becoming a king. But yes, he has to do all this without using any power like that herb. Now because Suri will not become a queen, she had to prove herself by winning this fight. But then it is shown that Suri is not here. She is missing from here. And here was a powerful and dangerous soldier who was fighting. This meant that this soldier would be the new king of Wakanda. Now let's see Suri, who went straight to the commander from here, where he burned his white mourning dress so that he could come out of his brother and mother's grief. Because now he also starts believing in such things. This is where she introduces Commander Suri to her son, and tells him that I and your brother T'Challa secretly got married. And this child is mine and T'Challa's. That is, your brother's. Only Ramonda knew this, after which you also found out today. Here that child tells Suri his name, with which this story ends here.